Okay, so since we're getting close to the 2023 Japanese fishing shows, it's time to do, I guess, the annual new baitcaster prediction video for Shimano. So without further delay, let us begin. So of course I am here at Shimano Japan's website, and we are looking at all the baitcaster reels, and let's just go and look at each of them, and I'll let you know whether I think the reel will be replaced with a newer updated model. So of course we have the top of the line ANTARES DC that came out in I think 2020 or 2021. So of course this is not going to be updated, and the EXSENCE DC was updated this year, so of course this is not going to be updated. But this reel here, the ANTARES DC MD, which came out in 2018, does have a good chance at being updated. So for any hardcore swim bait guys who are wanting a smaller version of the ANTARES DC MD, this might be that year, as I predict if it does get updated, it's going to get the smaller, more compact body of the new ANTARES and the new EXSENCE, and of course probably a version of the 4x8 DC system made for big baits. Now the Calcutta CONQUEST DC I think came out either 1 or 2 years ago, so I doubt that's being updated. Now this next reel, which is the previous generation Calcutta CONQUEST, which came out in 2014, is only available in a 3 and 400 size, and here's the new version that came out I think a couple of years ago. So the 3 and 400 size Calcutta CONQUEST may get updated to the new body. Now the ANTARES came out in 2019, so there's no way that's being updated. The Calcutta CONQUEST, the newest style, only came out a couple of years ago, so highly doubt that's being updated. Maybe they'll add a couple of models to it. But then we get to this reel right here, the 2015 Metanium DC, and I surely hope this reel is getting updated, because for the last 2 or 3 years, me as well as a lot of the Japanese fishing YouTubers and bloggers have predicted a new Metanium DC, and I surely hope that if they actually do update the Metanium, that they give it a more special brake system than the typical IDC5 that you find in so many DC reels, including the lower end models like the Scorpion and the SLX DC XT. But even if they do give them a Metanium DC and IDC5 brake system, I hope one of the brake settings is going to be like an extreme distance setting to set it apart from the other DC reels. So next up is going to be the Calcutta CONQUEST BFS, which came out in 2017. Now this is a tough one because we know that the 2016 ALDEBARAN got replaced with the new 2022 model, but I can see that Shimano may wait another year before they update the Calcutta CONQUEST BFS. But if they do, you could probably bet that they're going to just be switching the body over to this newer style, and of course giving it all the latest and greatest updates that the ALDEBARAN got, like the newer FTB brake system, the smaller diameter MGL3 spool. But if they do update this CONQUEST BFS, I surely hope that they give it a much more special handle than the old one, since this reel costs so much. So moving on, the ALDEBARAN BFS came out this year, so of course that's staying the same. But then we get to the ALDEBARAN MGL, which came out in 2018, but technically this frame has been out since 2015, so it's just as old as the Metanium when it comes to the frame. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with the new ALDEBARAN MGL, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stuck it in the same frame as the ALDEBARAN BFS and gave it a narrower MGL spool. and of course micro module gears. But one thing I do hope is that they keep the 32mm spool diameter and give it more line capacity, because my ALDEBARAN 30 is always in danger of casting all its line off. Alright, so Metanium Shallow Edition came out this year, so of course it's not being updated. The standard Metanium came out in 2020, so of course that's not going anywhere. This Calcutta came out like in 2011, so it's been well over 10 years. Not even sure how many people actually buy this reel, but wouldn't be surprised if this base Calcutta gets updated. But just a quick bit of trivia, I think the Calcutta was the first baitcaster to feature X ship. Now the EXSENCE DC, I think that came out in 2020, and I don't think this is getting updated. And then of course the BANTAM was updated this year, so that's staying the same. Scorpion DC came out in 2021, so that's staying the same, as well as the Scorpion MD big bait reel. Of course the SLX DC XT came out this year finally, so that's not being updated. Then we get to the Scorpion BFS. Now this is a tricky one, because the Scorpion BFS came out in 2017 right alongside the CONQUEST BFS, but I think the Scorpion somewhat went out of production last year, and that was due to the introduction of the SLX BFS. So because the SLX BFS is still around and it's cheaper than the Scorpion BFS may not be in the lineup for much longer. Now if they do come out with a new Scorpion BFS, I hope they do something to separate this reel from the cheaper SLX, like giving it a higher performing spool, and I hope they change this color to like a red color. That would be awesome. Alright, so the CURADO DC in Japan is the 200 version, which is new, so that's not going anywhere. And then we come to the Scorpion MGL. Now technically the Scorpion MGL came out in I think 2019, so it's not that old, but the platform it's based on, which is the CURADO 200K, has been out since I think either 2017 or 2018. And I know that the CURADOs tend to be updated like every 4 or 5 years, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if they came out with a new Scorpion MGL. Alright, let's talk about this reel right here, the Brenius. Now the Brenius is the first ever bait finesse reel built for saltwater using braided line. I think this reel came out in 2014, maybe even earlier than that, but this platform has been out since 2009. I'm really hoping Shimano comes out with a new Brenius model, or at least a saltwater bait finesse reel that has really high spec that's made to run braided line. Alright, so the SLX DC 70, the cheapest DC reel you can get, I think it came out in 2020. The reel itself is probably the best beginner's DC reel out there, but I don't think this is getting updated. Alright, so here we have the Scorpion 70, and there's a good chance this reel may get an update. But I predict if they come out with a new ALDEBARAN, then they probably won't come out with a new Scorpion until next year, because the ALDEBARAN MGL and the Scorpion 70 kind of fill the same role, which is like a small compact finesse baitcaster. But since Shimano North America updated the CURADO 70 to the MGL a couple of years ago, the Japanese counterpart Scorpion has stayed the same. But I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with an all new Scorpion 70 with an all new frame, which of course would be used by the next CURADO 70. Now of course, one update it would have would be an MGL spool and probably micro gears. Alright, so the SLX BFS is only maybe a year or two old. No way that's getting updated. And then we get to the SLX MGL. This reel is going on, I think, 3 or 4 years old, as the SLX platform has been out since I think 2018. Now, while it wouldn't surprise me if Shimano updated the SLX platform, I seriously doubt that they would do that the same year that they would come out with a new Scorpion 70. Alright, so the Bass 1 XT, I doubt that's going anywhere. And then the Bass Rise, I doubt that's being updated either. Now on the spinning reel side, I don't really keep up with it too much, but I think Shimano may be updating the Vanquish, as I think this Vanquish platform has been out for, I don't know, quite a few years now, and it is known as probably the best ultralight spinning reel with quick response in mind. So you spinning reel guys, there may be a new Vanquish coming out. Now as far as rods go, the only thing that I think, or I should say I wish they would come out with, is going to be an all new Poison Ultima line. Here it is right here. Now what they've done is they've just been steadily adding new tech to the Poison Ultima line instead of just coming out with a brand new one altogether. But I hope this year is the year that they do come out with an all new Poison Ultima line, and if they do and it looks awesome, I'm definitely gonna finally try one out. Now the last thing I'm going to say is that, as we've seen in the past, Shimano has been extremely unpredictable, coming out with reels that I should say nobody asked for, but they were awesome anyway, like the SLX DC XT and the SLX BFS. This year I hope Shimano finally brings back the combination of a bait finesse reel with DC brakes and resurrects the Cardiff DC. Or they can call it a CONQUEST BFS DC. Now if they do that, I know it's going to be hugely expensive, but I will be the first one in line to buy one. Alright guys, those are my predictions for what could possibly be updated for 2023. I know a lot of guys kind of wait and save their pennies around this time of year just to see what Shimano and DAIWA is going to be coming out with, because you don't want to buy the old reel if a new reel is going to be coming out that's better. And I totally understand. Now unfortunately I don't have any kind of insider contacts for Shimano Japan, so this is all just speculation by me. But leave in the comment section what reel you hope they update this year, and if I see a trend on a particular reel that a lot of people want to be updated, if they actually update it, I'll probably get one just to review it for you guys. Alright guys, thanks a lot.